what's going on. Chris Classic dropping a carb law. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's been about, 2-3 days since I did a vlog or went live. So let's talk about random stuff. Y'all have anything I want to talk about as far as wrestling and storylines? I'll tell you the best thing that I have to my knowledge of it. Like I said, I'm not on to like other wrestling companies like I used to and stuff. What's going on, Raphael? God bless you. Anybody listening to this, nobody tells you to them that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I'm praying for you guys. Hope you guys are praying for me. Much love. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast where I talk about professional wrestling topics. And I put on my Manchester's Classic outfit, a professional wrestler of 13 years. Next Wednesday, October 8th, is Fright Night. We are going to be in Dalton. And it is a free show. If you guys want tickets, inbox or just send a message or send a comment and I get it to you guys. It's Royal Estates Assisted Living. That's where it's going to be at. And Countryside Nursing Rehab, they presenting us. So it's a free show to the residents there and also to the public. But it's limited seating. It is limited seating. So make sure you get tickets there. Also, February 21st, 2026 is Big Business. And also the C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion. So make sure you get tickets to that one. Tickets are available. Details are coming soon. Lafayette, Indiana in the building. What's going on, brother? What's going on, Robert Brown? What's going on? Just random. We're doing randoms today. We want to talk, what wrestling topic would you like me to talk about? What story would you like me to talk about? I didn't watch AEW. I rarely watch AEW. I rarely watch, like, I be trying to find time to watch the WWE clips. Cause like I said, AEW just doesn't, I don't want to say excite me, but it doesn't intrigue me. I think one of the last videos I've seen was, it was the thing between Samoa Joe and Adam Page. And then, what was it, last week where they introduced the women's tag titles. And I think I spoke about that briefly. I think I spoke about why I didn't really care for women's tag titles. It's just I don't really care for the ones on Raw, on WWE. It's too many belts, and it's not just per company. It's just too many belts in general. And to me, at this point, belts are participation trophies. But what else? I know that Andrade, he returned from somebody that was spoiling it on Facebook. It was like Andrade returned, and then apparently he returned because WWE didn't even give him a 90-day clause. Like, they wanted him up out of there. That's crazy. They didn't even see value in him to make him not wrestle anywhere for 3 months. They was like, you know what? Peace out. And lo and behold, he in AEW now. He's a part of the Don Callis family with everybody else. Everybody and their mama part of the Don Callis family. So we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know, AEW, to my knowledge, they don't have a wellness policy. So I know that's also another reason why some wrestlers go over there, because WWE has a strict wellness policy. To my knowledge, AEW has not had something where they suspended somebody for any violations of any recreational drugs or enhancements or anything like that. So it is what it is. Oh, you didn't watch AEW? Yeah, again with blood match. Who bled this time? Who bled this time on AEW? Who was it this time? Who bled this time? Oh my God. I mean, come on, man. Everybody bleeding there. Everybody bleeding. Yeah, Andrade return. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I wish him the best. I wish him the best. I just, for the most part, I hope he doesn't go down like a similar run like, what's his name? Del Rio did. You know, Del Rio, you know, honestly, when he got let go the first time, WWE did do him wrong. Because somebody did a racial slur to him, and he got upset about that. And the way he handled it, they didn't like him, and they let him go. I'm not going to sit here and act like Del Rio was like the most fan favorite for anybody, because they were saying he had an ego even back then or whatever like that, but he was wrongly done. And then when he did come back, it was stuff for storylines and I believe wellness policy violation. Mine slips me on that, but even going to other companies and no showing or not defending the titles and stuff like that, because I believe he was the Impact Wrestling champion and he didn't show up, and then they had to do something with that. So hopefully it is what it is. See, my thing is this: I'm not going to always be like it's the company's fault for doing certain things and stuff like that. Sometimes people have to hold themselves accountable, or the wrestling world will hold you accountable. The thing with the wrestling world, though, is that it's more forgiving. Like, it doesn't even matter. As long as people can make money, you can be booked somewhere. You know, a lot of people don't like the situation with Tessa Blanchard with the racial stuff and what she did and spit on somebody, black woman. And some people stopped booking her, but then eventually, when people thought it was cool, they started booking her again. And she was on Women's of Wrestling Wow and all of that. I don't know if she's there now or whatever, but people were still booking, and they still book her to this day. So it is what it is. So Andrade called TK. I'm sorry, Tony. I know I left for the other side. The other side is not for me. Like I thought, I got a kid now. I'm much mature now. Please send me. Now that'll be funny if he said he much mature, because he wasn't that far removed from leaving AEW. He wasn't even that far removed from AEW, but still. I do think, and I've spoke about it before, I do think some of the issues with Andrade in WWE, of course, the wellness policy, the violations, but also I think the divorce with Charlotte Flair, and I think him, telling the world about his son really, put some gasoline on the situation. So I do feel like even if he didn't, because he didn't like certain storylines too, so it's a lot. So that's why I say sometimes it's the wrestler, it's on the wrestler, it's not on the company. Telling a company that you don't want a storyline or you don't agree with a certain storyline, staying home, or trying to show up when you can't even, when you're suspended, that's never a good thing. And me, as a person who owns a company, I would think about that kind of stuff too. Like, do I want that kind of situation, a possible issue in the future for booking this guy? Those are things that are very important to think about. I'm still behind. Like I said, AEW has potential. I think that this is now or never the time to show people that AEW is not to be messed with. AEW has cheaper prices for tickets. People will look at that stuff. People will pay for that stuff. Christmas is around the corner. Stuff like that. People want to take their kids to wrestling events and stuff like that. Slowly but surely, it's looking like it's not affordable for a lot of people. So it does look like a lot of people are going to try to find somewhere else to look at. So AEW could be a good thing. Problem with AEW, all the blood, all the violence, all of this other stuff. Tony support talking about family-friendly prices, but not having family-friendly wrestling. I'm just saying. Then y'all promoting blood and guts with the women's now. Now the women's is about to be busted open and stuff like that. Pause, no Diddy. So it's just like, how can I champion that? How can I say go see these kids? Like, I wouldn't take my kids to an AEW show. It's cool to see kids dressed like Darby Allin. I remember that one kid that was arguing with Chris Jericho, and Jericho and him, the little kid, was doing the middle finger and stuff. And I wouldn't have my kid throwing the middle finger, but it is what it is. Hold on, y'all. Some cars smoking up here. It's okay. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah. If you are pulling for them, cool. I wish every company succeed, honestly. I wish every company have great quality wrestling and stuff. Now, pricing people out because you want to make WWE a luxurious experience, that's not a good thing. Because your core audience, if anything, are men and children. So when children can't even watch it, come on now. What's going on, Sophia Ninja? Tessa needs to apologize for what she did. She's not going to. I don't want to say it's too late, but she's definitely not going to. I know she spoke about it, saying both of them were spitting on each other and calling each other slurs. I do know that other women wrestlers, they stuck up for La Rosa Negra. What's her name? Black Rose. And they spoke about it, and they also said that Tessa was definitely toxic in the locker room. I know that a lot of people said that. Like I said, a lot of her booking slowed down, but then eventually they started coming back. Women are wrestling, they brought her back, and they made her a champ. And then there was some situation that happened with them. even during the racial tirade, quote unquote, when she was the world champion for Impact Wrestling, because they wanted to put her belt on a woman. And, you know, she was trying to speak and people was booing her. The way she left the company was also a bad thing. She took the title and she didn't want to get a title back. She said, hey, if y'all want this title, y'all got to pay me some money and I'll ship it to you. So I'm just saying, people are going to do that. And it's looking like Matt Riddle is going down a bad rabbit hole with certain things and stuff like that, because he still has the WWE residue. People like him. People know that he like to smoke. People like to smoke. People like that kind of stuff. So they still book him, regardless of how he's doing other companies and stuff like that. At this point, when you make that risk to bring somebody in that may or may not show up, that's on you eventually. I don't like seeing people being robbed. I don't like people money being stolen and stuff like that. But at this point in time, you look at stuff and be like, you know what, it's not worth my time. I've tried to book some people for C3, and as soon as they hit a lie, and it's an obvious lie, bye-bye. I'm not booking you no more. I'm not going to say nothing good about you. I'm not sharing your content or nothing. I'm not doing none of it. Why would I do that? Why would I risk spending money or promoting, you know, making a flyer and all of that stuff? That costs money and that costs time that you're not going to get back. Why would I do that just because they may bring people in? They may bring people in. Something to think about. Not to defend Andrade entirely, but sometimes you gotta decline certain storylines and situations, like him for instance. See, and I don't have a problem with that neither, if you do, but then again, if you become difficult. Remember, Rusev, Miro, in AEW, he was off of TV for a long time. Now, I know that him and his wife, CJ Perry, they was divorcing at the time, but they were saying even before that, he was just denying storylines from left and right, and he just wanted to go home. He'd rather go home than doing the storylines. So that's the kind of things, too. And I tell my kids this. In life, you're going to do some things you don't want to do. Sometimes you're just going to. Even in wrestling. Wrestling may be your passion and dream, but you may have to face somebody you don't want to. You may have to do something with somebody. That's just one of those things. So, okay, cool. You stuck up for yourself, but then now you may be considered difficult. Now they may not want to book you. Now they'll probably put you in worse storylines. It's a give and take. It's definitely a give and take. Stone Cold. Remember? Stone Cold and Brock was supposed to go against each other for King of the Ring, the first match, like a qualifier. Obviously, that's a pay-per-view match, and I understand where Stone Cold was coming from. Why would you put this on free TV? Why would you? And you know, he apologized, but to be honest, he wasn't wrong. That's some money. Why would you leave free money on the table? For another example, and I love this match, Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan, Monday Nitro, when Goldberg won. I loved it because I watched it live. It was free. I had to pay nothing. I had to get no VHS. It was free. But you know how much money they lost that they could have got from looking at that? Just saying. Fun fact, I used to give the middle finger when I was a little kid, not trying to encourage that. No, I get you. I mean, as kids, we do things. I mean, doing the suck it sign would get you in trouble in school. Doing the suck it sign, your parents would get on you and stuff like that. You know, it's not something that I would promote on my television set. I wouldn't promote that on my company, right? Especially, you know, I just wouldn't. Okay, the kid is talking and the kid is cursing and middle finger and blah, 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 and the kid is showing his six-pack, whatever. But still, it's like, I want to support like kids looking at that, because kids need to be the driving force in some of your watch and some of the stuff that you watch. Darby is cool, right? Kids was dressing up as Darby. They had a kid dress up as Orange Cassidy. They had kids dressing up like Sting and stuff. Like, you have to. When Swerve was being Swerve in AEW, my kids was doing the Swerve when you drive dance. They like Swerve and stuff like that. But then it's just like, after all of that, somebody got to bleed or somebody got to be set on fire. Just saying. What's going on, freak? Edge and Lita should have declined that bad. Well, the thing was, Edge is definitely a company man. There's allegations of certain things that have happened with Edge when he was younger and stuff, and I don't want to go into details, but he's definitely been a company man for WWE for the longest until he didn't like the direction they wanted him to go. The bed segment definitely was crazy. That was like one of the highest rated Raw segments too, by the way. And then, there was a couple bloopers in that. To be honest, it was the dumbest segment in my life. But but people wanted to see how Lita looked for certain things and all of that stuff. Like it was so weird. It was, as an adult thinking about that, it was just so weird. What I walk into, LOL. What up, Sean from Clearly Drinking? I'm just talking randomly about wrestling topics. So like anything that people talk about, say, I'm just trying to speak about it, and that's all. It's not nothing really bad. I did see like a little bit of what they're doing with NXT and TNA. They was gonna call it Invasion, but then when the people from Saudi Arabia and Israel and stuff, they had a problem with that, they changed it to Showdown. So people mad at that. People mad at it because they was like, they don't want it to be called Invasion because of everything that's going on with the world and over there. So now they call it Showdown. So like people are saying, oh, WWE, you guys are compromised. How dare you change the name of your show because you work with these people that give you a lot of money. How dare you? But yeah, even going into it, I was looking at like, they got like a team NXT versus Team TNA. And Team TNA women's team is led by Kalani Jordan, who just became the new Knockouts Women's Champion. But why does she leave the TNA team when she's an NXT wrestler? Because isn't Trick Williams on the team of NXT with Ricky Saints, who is the NXT champion? They done already messed up. I personally think that WWE bought TNA already. They just aren't saying it. I truly believe that TNA has been bought by WWE. They just didn't announce it yet. I thought they were going to announce it on night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Just like they did on WrestleMania 40 where they announced that WWE bought AAA. They said that they bought them. So I definitely thought that they bought, I definitely do think that they bought TNA for sure. I think the storylines that they're doing, their NXT wrestlers being champions over there to help TNA, I definitely do feel like it. I feel like this Invasion storyline stuff could go into TNA being purchased by NXT. WWE is being confusing. I definitely agree. I know that Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke, she was the Knockouts Women's Champion. She had to vacate it because she's taking a break for whatever reason. I hope everything is right with her, and I'm praying for her, obviously. But at the same time, putting it on an NXT women's wrestler, and she's leading the team against it. Now, to their credit, I don't know everything that's going on with NXT. I don't. I do remember that people was upset when Obafemi lost the NXT title to Ricky Saints. I'm upset that he lost to Ricky Saints because I feel like WWE is not going to do anything with Oba Wright. Now, I'm not saying that I'm mad that he lost. I'm not mad at that. Just mad because I already know that WWE probably ain't going to do the right thing and do right by him. They're not going to give him the run that Braun Breaker has. The man calls himself the ruler. So you're going to call him the ruler, but then give him centimeters of success. You're going to have him win a couple stuff, and then I just don't have faith in WWE doing it. Now, I do wish I'm wrong, and they do Oba Wright in NXT, not NXT, in WWE. Because it does seem like they're about to call him up. But I just don't know. If I was Shawn Michaels, right, and I seen that they did him wrong, I would be upset. I know some people are upset with Carmelo Hayes and stuff, but Carmelo Hayes still needs a little work. He needs some polish. But Oba is a guy that you could make into your main event, honestly. He can do something, and people can get behind him for sure. So that's how I feel about that. I do feel about that. Now, the Invasion storyline is very, very interesting. Hopefully it does work out for both companies. A lot of people love NXT still. They still love what NXT does and can provide to the people. So hopefully it all works out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it all works out. I'm trying to think of anything else. Well, some people are saying that Roman may be molding Jey Uso to be the next member, tribal chief or whatever. And that'll be interesting to see. It's crazy I'm making them my own topics, but that'll be interesting to see. But at this point, like, people thought that the bloodline storyline was gonna fizzle out. It'll never fizzle out at this point. There's always gonna be something going on. I know that Jacob is back. I don't know. I know Solo is doing something with one of the guys from MFT. I don't know what they're doing with these guys. I don't know what they're doing with these guys. I don't know if they're trying to spread them out a little bit. Pause, no Diddy. But I don't know what's going on with the Samoans at this point. Roman is back and he's telling Jey, hey, smash them all, forget them and all of that stuff. So I don't know. Roman may be on his way to retirement or just taking a break. Again, I mean, hey, at this point, we just got to get used to Roman being a part-timer, and that's fine. I mean, they give somebody else an opportunity to elevate. I just wish they did it a little bit quicker, you know. Right now, with Raw, basically Punk and Seth, they are probably on lock to go against each other for the foreseeable future. They've had great matches, but still, you know, I don't think Seth is going to drop the belt anytime soon. I think that him and Punk will do something. He'll beat Punk, and then Punk will come back eventually. Either be the Royal Rumble winner, or he'll be some kind of winner, or Elimination Chamber winner, and then he's going right back to Seth so he can have his WrestleMania moment. So most likely Punk is going to main event another WrestleMania. Something that should have went to Jey Uso. So I feel like if Jey Uso, if they are trying to do something, that should be in his promos. I say I'm frustrated. Oops, I'm upset because I was a Royal Rumble winner and I opened up WrestleMania. Like, dang, the Royal Rumble winner opened up WrestleMania. Think about that, y'all. What kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that? Like Roman, Seth, and Punk, they main evented night one with no title. No title. What's going on about the building? Like, come on, man. Like, and I get it. Seth, Roman, Punk, superstars, main eventers for sure. But the Royal Rumble winner didn't main event. Not one night. Didn't main event. Nothing. Opened up WrestleMania. Didn't main event. Opened up. So some people possibly missed it because they was getting food or they was driving to somebody's house. You probably missed it, but those are main eventers. Yes, they are. They are main eventers, but Jey Uso is main event Jey Uso. You are the Royal Rumble winner. Think about it. The tradition of Royal Rumble is if you win, you're supposed to main event WrestleMania. Main event Jey Uso won the Men's Royal Rumble, but did not main event WrestleMania. Man, that sucks. That does suck. And I knew that even if Jey would have won, he wouldn't have had the belt for a long time. So when people was upset with that, I was not, because I just knew what it was, because Jey was not in their plans. He just was not. The problem, well, not the problem, the thing was fans got behind Jey so much, all that other stuff, that WWE was like, well, we'll listen to the fans. You know, they have a bad habit of doing it. They'll be like, oh, well, what happened was we liked you and you was good and stuff like that, and we decided to change our minds with certain things. And it's just like, nah, fam, you definitely wasn't going to push these people. You definitely wasn't going to elevate them. But the thing was, he was undeniable. Jey doesn't seem like a main event if you think about it, but he keeps doing this thing. Roman and the Rock and many stuff. Yeah, I'll say this. Like, calling him main event Jey, I mean, I can see why, but at the same time, even as main event Jey, he needed some work. He definitely needed some work done when it came to certain stuff. When he'd come out and do the yeets and all that, by the time he grabbed the microphone, he was tired. And then he would mess up in some of his matches. And then also cutting himself open on accident, that didn't help him neither. That didn't help the situation at all, because that just happened not too long ago. But still, yeah, Roman and Rock are megastars. Like, Roman made WWE more important than what it was. And I know that people don't like to talk about that, but it's the truth. Like, that Bloodline storyline made people go back to watching wrestling. And I talked to my homie about it too. I'm like, hey man, like you can literally look at they made a compilation list of everything with the bloodline, right? So they definitely did their thing with it. They definitely did their thing with that story. So still, Roman is why WWE say, yeah, I mean, yeah. So when he wanted money and he wanted certain things, they shouldn't have got mad at him because he wasn't wrong. He knew what he was worth it. Everybody talked about that storyline and stuff like that. And then it started helping WrestleMania, and people started paying attention to wrestling and other stars like LA Knight and Sami Zayn and the Cody Rhodes, and a lot of people started liking these guys because they wanted these guys to beat Roman Reigns. It just didn't happen. You know, Roman is one of those guys where people booed him. See, this is the funny thing about fandom, right? People change their minds so quick. When he debuted with the Shield, a lot of people was like, oh, Jon Moxley. Well, Dean Ambrose, obviously. Dean Ambrose, he's going to be the breakout star. He's going to be the breakout star. Watch what he does. He's going to be the breakout star. Watch, it's going to be Dean because Dean is this and Dean is that. And then it eventually went to, Seth Rollins, who was Tyler Black in the Independents. He's going to do good. He's going to be great. Watch what he does. He's going to do something. He's going to lead the charge. He wound up being Roman. And then people found out that Roman Reigns was related to The Rock and he was part of the Samoan dynasty and stuff like that. And some people liked it. People liked seeing the spears. They was doing the ooh-ah. People wanted to see the Superman punch, the drive-by. He don't do the drive-by like he used to. Remember the drive-by? He used to do this stuff. And then eventually when they started realizing that WWE was pushing him to the roof, people was like, oh no, not him for any reason. Fast forward, he get his teeth done. He got some grays in his hair. He got Paul Heyman with him. Now everybody love him. That's all it takes. Just a few things. He took his bulletproof vest off. And look at him. Look at what people want to see. People love to see him. They want to see him. They want to see more of him. They go crazy. They acknowledge him. OTC. His last shirt looked ugly, like the old Roman Reigns logo with the TC1. Like, I don't understand OTC1. Prilosec OTC. I don't know what's going on with his shirts, but still, I'm just saying. I knew Reigns was going to be a huge threat. Always too big. Always love Reigns. The drive-by, yeah, he still does it. Gotta watch his match closely. So what's going on, followers of Elias? So you know, he got a Jordan deal with shoes. It's supposed to have some shoes. They look nice. I know they got delayed. I don't know why. I mean, they got delayed, but I know some people are going to rock them shoes. They're going to rock them J's because people are Jordan fanatics, and some people are Roman Reigns fanatics. I'm right here in the parking lot, close to the parking lot of the school, and they are still doing that stupid stuff that frustrates me so. Could y'all please go? Good Lord. Like, these people try to stay in one lane. It's 2 lanes. Yeah, it's 2 lanes. Y'all want to go to the worst lane. It'd be different. Y'all's going to the better lane. Y'all going to the worst lane. But still, he is the best. But I am at my destination. Appreciate you, follower of Elias, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. That warms my heart. Good. Thank you. But I am at my destination. Fun fact, I'm down in WWE this last time on my B-Day. Stay blessed. You stay blessed, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me on the way to get my children, man. God bless y'all. Hope you guys and gals have a great day. This is Chris Classic. Peace, Arshawn. Let's take I gotta talk to you, Arshawn. I'm gonna message you about that thing that you sent me. I ain't forget. This is Chris Classic. I remember this promo from Roman. He said he will fill the whole world in knowledge. Yeah, and he succeeded. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.